All right. So today, I feel like I need to talk about being judgmental. Jesus talks a lot about being judgmental and comes down really hard on people who are judgmental or who are hypocrites. He's constantly going after the Pharisees for being hypocrites. And I feel like they're related. The passage where he's talking about take the plank out of your own eye before you talk about the speck of dust or speck of sawdust in your other person's eye. And I feel like when somebody's judgmental, which, I mean, it's hard not to be. We all have our biases and our blind spots. We all think we, even if we're very aware. Okay, for me, I'm gonna stop saying we because I don't know for you, whoever's watching this. I can't talk for other people, but for myself, I may think I have a good idea of what is good or evil, what is right or wrong. But as I've talked about in past videos, I don't really know. There's no way I can really know. Because I'm limited. I'm not all-knowing. I'm not God. So I should make really no judgments, because you just don't know. You don't know. You might think that somebody's doing something evil, but down the line it ends up being, a blessing in disguise, or maybe not necessarily evil, but just wrong. Still could be a blessing in disguise. Somebody's non-action you could think of as, callousness or whatever, but maybe that's what needs to happen. Maybe that person is doing God's will. I don't know. So and there's just so many gray areas. So the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector is an excellent parable regarding this. I think this principle of the Pharisees up there supposedly praying to God, saying, I thank God I'm not like these other people. I do this and this and this. I'm not like them. He's basically just tooting his own horn. Doesn't even question whether that's really what God wants him to do or not. And he's already determined his own righteousness or whatever. I'm using that word. I don't know. He's tooting his own. He's touting his own. The word. Basically, he's judging himself by his own criteria and not realizing that his criteria might be flawed. I think maybe righteousness is being judged by by God's criteria, which I think we have an idea, but obviously all the arguments and differences between people and denominations shows that we really don't know. Jesus said, love God and love your neighbor. Somehow that turned into 1,000 different denominations, and people in those denominations doing things that are clearly, I mean, just outright breaking the Ten Commandments. But they don't see it. They're I don't know. I don't get it. But maybe I don't see it either. Maybe I'm doing the same thing. So just try to scale things back. Be a servant instead of trying to be God, trying to glorify yourself. Accepting what, man, I have wandered far, I think, from where I started. I started talking about judgmentalism, being judgmental and being hypocritical. And I get back into the same points because I think they're all tied together. They're when I'm concerned about when I think my own judgment of what is right or wrong, what I think should be happening in the world, how I think other people should be living, if I'm more concerned about that than just helping them with their struggles. I think that's really where it all goes wrong. Am I helping, or am I helping other people, or am I enabling other people to be comfortable following their own wisdom? Am I helping them find God's wisdom, or it's like, that's what it is, I guess. See, I keep trying to boil things down to keep it simple, not only for myself, but so I can help other people. Animals really have it right. They're just kind of along for the ride, and they take what the world gives them, what God gives them. And that's how people should be. It's how people were for a long time. But then something changed. Something changed. The story of Adam and Eve, and the apple and Garden of Eden and creation, I don't know if that's to be taken literally, or if it's just an amazing allegory. Either way, it works. I think it's relevant either way. It's an amazing allegory of where man does go wrong. Whether there was literally a tree that, had this fruit that sent us, that created all the bad things about the world. I don't know. I wasn't there. But it's definitely one of the most helpful stories for me in my brief journey so far as a Christian. And I'm just along for the ride here, trying to learn, trying to soften my own heart, not be judgmental. That's actually a good sign of how soft or hard your heart is, because when you're judgmental, you are saying, basically, I know how you should live. Excuse me, and there's no humility there. the distinction between being judgmental, and discernment is another thing. It's like, okay, I can see what somebody's doing, but I don't attach. Discernment is when you see something that somebody's doing, but you don't attach your own bias or beliefs to it. That's the, I think that's the difference there. And sorry, there was a very young kid getting in the driver's seat of that car. He didn't look 16 to me. I'm sure he is. It just shows how old I am, and I don't know how old young kids are. So it really still comes back to humility, or acknowledging your limitations, which is what humility is. Acknowledging your limitations. I have limitations. I am not all-knowing. I am not capable, all-powerful. I need help. Other people need help. There's compassion. And I don't exactly know God's plan. I have an idea based on what I've read in the Bible. Just trying to go with that, but at the same time, I don't know how I fit in perfectly, and I don't know how others fit in perfectly. Just follow the commandments. Follow what Jesus said. And it's the best we can do, I believe. It's not about getting it perfect, I think, because I don't think that's possible. I'm a human, like I said, and I have limitations. So it's just something to work out. I guess I didn't make the connection between being judgmental and acknowledging my limitations. I don't really know what's in that person's heart. Truly. I can see them doing something, and based on what they say, I can interpret it a certain way, but I don't really know what they're doing and what part they're playing in God's plan. So, all right, on that note, I pray this finds you. I am enjoying the journey, and it's about the best we can all do. God bless.